Hi, hi, hi. It's time for a weekly reading. I'm gonna light some incense. So what's up? This week has kind of been interesting. So I kind of went from, doing a lot of reading, like you guys, I've been telling you guys, I kind of like stepped back and took a break from things and just reading for fun and things like that. And then this week, somehow my focus shifted to YouTube. That's where I'm posting this. And just really kind of understanding the YouTube world a little bit more and trying to figure out how can I offer more content to you guys that would be of value. Like, what is it that you guys want to see from me with regards to, say, video content or meditation content or whatever it is, right? A lot of times I have people coming to me asking me the same questions, so I could do like a Q&A or like things like that. But really just trying to figure out a way that I can reach you and provide you the guidance that you are looking for, you know? All right, so before we do this, do some smudging. And another thing that I want to do, okay, so tell me if you like this idea or not. So you're gonna have to like comment. So comment in the YouTube comments here and I will, I'll answer you and reply and all that stuff. But I want you to comment. So typically I record these on Mondays. For the week, I could do them on Sundays. It doesn't really matter when I do them because you can, you know, I could like go and record, you know, next month or pick any time and you just draw the cards and you're just connected to that energy. So it really doesn't matter when I record this. The message is still the same for the week. But what I want to do, or what I was thinking might be a good idea, and that would invite more interaction between me and you, is YouTube has a live feature where you can do lives and streaming and stuff like that. Since I'm a super small channel, I don't have the capability of going live from my phone, right? I don't know what it is. I love recording and doing everything from my phone because I just find it simple. I even have like a video editing app on my phone. And so I typically do everything from my phone. However, in order to do YouTube live, since I don't have the 1,000 subscribers or whatever the threshold is there, I can do YouTube lives, but it has to be done from my laptop or from a desktop computer. So I actually ordered equipment so that I can do this. So what I would like to do, if you think it's a good idea, is I'd like to record these weekly forecasts for you live. So like that I would pick a certain time, like, you know, Monday mornings at like 8 or 8:30, kind of in the morning. I'd get up, throw on some mascara, maybe have my coffee here, and do the weekly reading. Then after the weekly reading is all done for everybody, if you're still tuned in or whatever it is, then I could do, you know, take a half an hour or whatever time slot I allow and do some personalized card picks. You would just need to comment, you know, in the comments and we could kind of try it out from there. But I thought that might be fun. and it might be a cool way to interact. The reason I'm choosing YouTube as a platform as opposed to just Facebook or just Instagram is because of that. Because there's certain people that love Facebook, there's certain people that love Instagram, and there's a few people that are on both, but typically you have a preference for one or the other. And then there are a few people that just like YouTube, right? But YouTube is fairly universal, and a lot of people are on this platform. Another reason to do YouTube videos and stuff like that is a little bit of a selfish reason, is because if I want to, say, grow the channel and then end up being able to monetize the channel and stuff like that, I need to grow the audience here. So one slightly selfish reason, but the main reason is to gain better reach so that I can help more people. So that is what I'm thinking. All right, cards. This week we're going to do the Animalkin Oracle deck. I have a couple animal oracles. I have this one, and then I have the Colette Baron Reid one. The Colette Baron Reid one I'm pretty familiar with. This one I'm not as familiar with, but I still like it. It's a 65 card deck by Sarah Wilder. It's got a thick guidebook, and you'll realize why in a moment. And then the artwork is really cool on the cards too. So you can see them. All right. Oh, before I get going too hard on the shuffling, I'm gonna just open my circles. See, like something like that. Like, okay, you guys watch me smudge, you watch me light incense, you watch me open circles, and you're gonna be like, why the F do you have a piece of selenite, and why do you know, swing it around your head? Like, what is the whole purpose of that? Like, why are you doing that? I could easily do a video or something on that, you know? Okay, so first card, energy of the week. Second card, what else do we need to know? Third card, where is this going? And the fourth card, what action should I take? So if you're interested in knowing more about the month, I do a 6-card reading in my Align group. I also do a channeled meditation in my Align group. I do a distance healing session for my Align group. And then we do a we do a talk. We do a talk, a lecture. Well, not really a lecture, but, you know, I find other practitioners or a subject matter so that we can go ahead and explore that, right? There's so many awesome modalities out there that are pretty cool, or different subject matters that you wouldn't have thought were a thing. And I just like the education part of that, because something is going to resonate with you more than somebody else, or vice versa. And there's more than one way to skin a cat. Okay, what's really interesting here, I flipped all the cards, is our bottom row. I'll just show you, like, our bottom row is like reds and oranges, right? So really working with the root chakra, the sacral chakra. And then I'm just gonna hold on to that action card for you. before I reveal it. So our first card, the energy of the week, is the Cardinal, which is about passion, which I find really interesting. Give me 1 second. I find the Cardinal card interesting because I don't know if you guys watched. I went live Thursday maybe on Facebook, and I made a bracelet for this month, and kind of around, you know, the whole Valentine's thing and stuff like that, but I didn't want pinks, and I was feeling really drawn to the reds and the oranges and things like that. So there's a lot of passion in this, so that's why I think this card reading is just kind of validating everything that I chose over there. Okay, Cardinal Passion number 30. So, fire and the kin essence. Tell your story with pride to attract your tribe, right? Don't be embarrassed about your story, because your story is going to resonate with people. This morning I watched the Carla Rand show. She has a podcast. She's local to Edson. She's got Power Fitness. She does a lot of really cool things. But on her podcast, she does interviews. And, you know, I think this is like number 42 for her. Like, she's been doing these podcasts weekly, and you really get to understand somebody else's story and, you know, the adversity that they have been able to overcome, whatever it is, right? And so tell your story with pride to attract your tribe, right? So even if your story is dark, or even if there's aspects of your story that you would rather forget, it's important to share those low moments in your life, because it proves that you have been able to overcome that adversity. You know what I mean? And it helps to inspire others that maybe are in a dark place right now, that they can overcome that adversity. Okay, it says, cardinal birds are known for their territorial nature and elaborate nest construction, which the male and the female birds build together to provide a safe and comfortable home for their chicks. Their passionate musical calls and songs connect us with feelings of peace and joy. During courtship, the males often collect offerings of seeds for their females and feed them beak to beak. Male cardinals sport the vibrant plumage of bold red tones, while the females are usually fawn or gray. Their crested heads and mask-like facial markings add to their beauty and almost regal-like stature. Cardinals are monogamous birds who sing their love songs to each other and even perform duets together, demonstrating their love and passion. The males also mark their territories with song, which is a true example of how a seemingly innocent but beautiful gift can create a huge impact and help us to stand out and hold space for others. Right? So just like I was saying, in the intro here, I want to be able to give back. And, you know, really when you are doing a spiritual business, you have to figure out your why. You know what I mean? So just because I want to have a business, but why do I want to have this business, right? Yeah, obviously I want to be able to provide for my family. I'm not asking to have millions of dollars so I can have like a big elaborate mansion or whatever. What I truly want in life is to be able to help supplement our family income so that my husband doesn't have to work so much overtime. You know what I mean? family for me is so important, and the people in my life are so important that I want to be able to serve them. I want to be able to be there for them. I want to be able to be present for them. And so if that's your why, right, you could do a lot with that. If your why is just to make money and to have an inflated ego, people are going to see right through that. You know what I mean? I've been doing my spiritual business for a couple of years now. I've not taken a paycheck out of my company to pay me. It seems kind of silly, but everything that I make is reinvested. Everything is reinvested so that I can provide a better service to you. There's nothing selfish about that. Sure, I might be watching, business YouTubes and following different business gurus or whatever, because I want to have a successful business. I want to be able to make money, but I want to be able to make money so I can reinvest it in order to provide more service, to reach more people, to have a larger ripple. All right. The crimson red is the color of passion, power, confidence, and strength. Therefore, we can draw upon this standout feature and learn that in order to live a life full of passion, we must draw on our own inner strength, confidence, and sexuality to entice and energize us to move forward by doing the things that really make us feel alive. Cardinals teach us to examine what we really love about our lives, and then to nurture and defend that what we most hold dear. It is here we can see what drives us and what is really important to us, thus giving insight into what work we feel called to do in this lifetime. Right? So find that passion. Find that passion. And when I was lost for a really long time, and I didn't have any passions. I felt like I didn't have any passion at all. There was a lot of things that I was good at, a lot of things that I could do, but I didn't feel like I had any passions or any hobbies or any friends. Like I just felt flat. And it wasn't until there wasn't a light bulb moment. It wasn't until I started working on myself and then realizing that I was able to help myself. And there were certain things that I learned along the way that I thought were really valuable and that I wanted to pass along to other people. And it's not that I think that I can heal you. It's that I want to show you the way how you can, it seems corny, but empower yourself to lead your best life, right? So that's where my passion is. My passion is to help other people. And I don't know if it's the Aries in me, but I get really pissed off when I feel like people are getting duped by others, because authenticity and integrity are so important to me. Okay, so that's like our card for the week, passion. So figure out what you're passionate about. And if you feel like you don't have any passions right now, just really one step at a time. Do the things that bring you joy, right? Even if it's not your job, right? Do the things that bring you joy. And if it has to be something like a part-time gig or whatever it is, or hobby or volunteer work, whatever it is, do that, right? Until you're able to maybe either do that full time or feel fulfilled enough by having, you know, the 9 to 5 and then the extracurricular stuff. Okay, so what else do we need to know is the phoenix, which is about renewal. So we all know about the phoenix rising out of the ashes. It's all about rebirth, right? So the passion, right? Identifying that passion, that spark, that why, and then really redefining who you are. It's a big one. Redefining who you are is a big one, because I know we've talked about this before, where people have certain expectations on you, or you take on those expectations, or you assume those expectations that people have for you. And so then when you're redefining yourself and you're like stepping out of the mold and you're not behaving in a characteristic way, people get all tied up in a knot, right? But this is you saying, no, I'm not passionate about that, so I am not doing that anymore. Like, I am drawing a line in the sand, and I am not crossing over it. You know, that part of my life was not serving me, and it was not serving others, right? If, you know, for example, okay, here's one. I took Rainer massage because I wanted to do some sort of body work. I wanted to work with people one-on-one to provide a healing service. And, you know, I do Reiki as well. But that was before I was doing Reiki, in-person Reiki sessions. I was up in my head thinking that nobody's going to come to me for like a spiritual enlightenment or Reiki energy, because it just seems so intangible, right? Massage is very tangible, right? It's hands-on, you're relaxing, it's dealing with the physical. So I figured, why not get, you know, some sort of massage practitioner, you know, certificate, diploma, whatever, so that I can work one-on-one with people, and that will be kind of my loophole to get people into the door so that I can do what it is that I do best, right? Being able to connect and help and guide and advise. But what happened was, I'm not passionate about rubbing people all over their bodies. Don't get me wrong, I'm good at it. I do a good job. People feel great afterwards, or, you know, I've caused them a lot of pain and made them deal with some shit. So maybe they don't really like me at the moment afterwards. But it's not something that I'm really passionate about. So if somebody comes to me and they say to me now, and they say, you know, I really am interested in having a massage, I am going to say no. There's a lot of other practitioners out there that you can go get a massage from, right? So yeah, it's not that I won't bring some of that aspect that I have learned through the massage into, say, an in-person treatment. You know, if I'm doing a session on somebody and I feel a blockage somewhere, and I feel like that physical touch is going to help facilitate the release of that emotion or the trauma or whatever it is, you know, I'm going to ask for permission, and I'm going to spot treat that spot, right? But this is about renewal, right? So I'm not identifying as a massage practitioner. People ask me to massage them. No, you can go somewhere else. I'm sorry. But if I feel like a part of that needs to come into a session, then I'll bring that into the session. So you got to do you, right? And a part of that is this, right? The passion, you know, the nice bright red cardinal strutting his stuff. You need to be able to strut your stuff and feel magnificent. Okay, let's read this one. It's 59. I feel like this video is going to be really long. I don't know about you guys, but usually what I end up doing, I end up listening to YouTube more than I do actually watch it. Okay, so the quintessence, true personal power can be found in the conscious acceptance of renewal and recreation of self. This is exciting. This is super exciting stuff. This is one of the most highly regarded mythical beasts in folklore. The phoenix has been spoken of in many cultures as one of the most powerful transformational teachers. This bird-like creature is often depicted to look like a hybrid of an eagle and a peacock with flame-like plumage representative of the sun's powerful energy, and as a storyteller of the transformational qualities of fire. There are many versions of the story of how the phoenix is known for its ability to rebirth itself, and the common thread is that this creature first surrenders the physical to the spiritual, and in turn rises again in the physical world renewed. This is a powerful message to us in that it teaches us acceptance for our reality, but not allowing ourselves to give up. That we can rise from the darkness and bring the light once again. We can learn a valuable lesson from their teachings of not fearing the darkness and instead treating it as part of the sacred process, right? It flows back into that cardinal card where you need to be able to tell your whole story, and you need to be able to be proud of your story, right? Be proud of the adversity that you went through to get to where you are. All the experiences in your life to get to where you are. The phoenix builds itself a nest when the end is near, retreats into himself, clasps his wings together, and bursts into flames, only to rise again a renewed, younger, lighter, and more powerful version of himself. We can find a deeply profound message here of self-acknowledgement, reinvention, and creation. The phoenix also reminds us to have a deep awareness of when a cycle comes to an end, to honor it, treat it with the utmost ceremonial manner, and to understand that it isn't actually the end, but rather the marking of a beginning of something new and much more beautiful and powerful. We can learn that fearing endings and change is actually going against our own better judgment, and that we have the power to believe in our ability to rise from the ashes of what has burnt down around us. The phoenix reminds us to call upon our inner strength and power to be able to make the conscious decision to close one chapter and move relentlessly forward into the next. Right? It's okay to close a chapter because you have learned so much from it, right? Me, learning and taking my massage, my Rainer massage diploma, it was more about my own healing than it was at that time about healing other people. I processed a lot of trauma through that experience. And by doing that, I know that I can help provide that to others, and I can help show others how they can process their own trauma in their own way. All right, so where all this, renewal, passion, self-discovery, rediscovery is going is to the dog, which is about forgiveness. Now, this isn't the first time that forgiveness has come up, right? We need to be able to forgive ourselves. I need to be able to forgive myself for feeling like I wasted thousands of dollars on a course that I'm not using. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of different examples of that. There's more than just that one course that I have invested in that I am not using. You know what I mean? So you know, or a hobby, right? You get into a hobby and you buy everything you need to do it, right? Like, I don't know how long I'm gonna feel like making bracelets. And I've invested, and I have thousands of dollars worth of beads and supplies. You know what I mean? So there needs to be a little bit of forgiveness, right? Especially when you're letting go of something and creating something new. Kind of like the whole minimalism movement, right? A lot of people are into, you know, reducing and figuring out what really matters and all that jazz. So in order to do that, you have to get rid of a lot of shit, right? You got to get rid of everything, not everything that you've accumulated, but, you know, the things that don't no longer bring you joy or really serve a purpose in your life. You know, sayonara kind of a thing. And you have to be able to forgive yourself for getting to that point, or addictions of any sort, right? Whether it be food, whether it be, you know, addicted to social media, whatever, alcohol, drugs, porn, whatever your addiction is or has been, you need to be able to forgive yourself for that so that you can move on and really embrace this. Okay, 15. And I'm going to say this is more about self-forgiveness than it is about anything else. Yeah, there will be a little bit of forgiveness that you need to do, especially, like I said, there's going to be resistance when you do this with other people. And they're probably they'll be acting out from a place of fear. So they'll be acting out from a place of fear. They may be acting, you know, uncharacteristic of themselves or whatever it is. Hold strong and just send love and forgiveness, because this is your journey, not their journey. So the dog forgiveness, it's the element is water. So emotion, right? Forgiving yourself and others opens you to love and freedom. And that, I think, the freedom is what we really, really want, right? Like I said, I'm passionate about being able to pay some bills so my husband doesn't have to work so much overtime, right? That is the freedom that I am looking for. The freedom that I'm looking for is to have more time with my family, and being able to balance then, when I am doing this spiritual business, being able to balance work and play, or work and family, right? I want to be here to serve, but I need to be able to fill up my own cup first. So dogs are the domesticated descendants of wolves. As pets and companions, dogs have long been associated with loyalty, empathy, fun, and happiness. As a wild animal, dogs are agile hunters with the ability to run long distances without tiring, tapping into their inner determination to override their physical exhaustion and to continue forwards. Wild dogs work with their pack to coordinate hunts, defend their territory, and care for their young. They also make time in their lives for play. Dogs have heightened senses, sensitive hearing, and a keen eye for movement, and the ability to respond quickly. They are eternally trusting, faithful, and forgiving beings to those they share their life with. Their ability to embody unconditional love makes them the ideal teachers of the practice of forgiveness. No matter the circumstances, a dog has the ability to choose to live more in the present and to take any opportunity to give and receive love and companionship. Dogs are well known for their ability to give love and affection freely, often without expectation. They are incredibly intuitive with heightened senses that allows them to connect with our soul essence, choosing to be guided by the energy and intention behind words and actions rather than their literal meaning, right? You know, when you tell a dog, good boy, right? They get excited, and it's not that they understand your voice or the words that you're saying, but they do understand your mannerism and the intention, right? So the same thing, like, it's your intention, right? You can tell somebody, kids are perfect at this, right? You know, one kid hurts the other kid, you tell one kid to say sorry, you know, and they're like, sorry, right? But they didn't really mean it, and the other kid knows it. Have some intention and have some integrity behind your words and what you're actually saying. If you're going to give your forgiveness, whether it's to yourself or to somebody else, put some intention behind that so that you're actually healing the trauma. Okay. So, our action card for the week, the one that I get from you, is change the butterfly. And there's a lot of purples, a little bit of blue here, right? So we're talking crown chakra, really being, there goes my hair. Look it, same colors as my hair. Change. And so where this passion and renewal is coming, it's coming from the gut, right? This passion and renewal is coming from the gut. Where this change, this action, is asking you to connect. Connect here. Connect to that higher power. So your action is going to need to be to get quiet, to, you know, get out a notebook and start writing out your why, right? What is your why? What are you passionate? What's your passion? What's your why? How are you going to serve? Who do you need to forgive? Right? But in order to do that, you need to connect with your higher self. Right? You need to be able to connect to your higher self. So this is 42. And it, the element is air. So we are in the age of Aquarius, right? We just entered into the age of Aquarius on winter solstice. So we entered into air. So no wonder we are being guided this way. So the kin essence is every stage of life holds significance in shaping who we are meant to become. So again, honoring our story, right? Honoring our story. Because it's through those stepping stones that we become the person that we are today, and that we are going to become the person that we're going to be tomorrow. Reputed for evoking a sense of wonder and enchantment, butterflies offer us moments of beauty, tranquility, and splendor whenever they grace us with their presence. Butterflies begin their life as larvae, which hatch from eggs laid dutifully on a leafy plant. Then they grow into caterpillars with the sole purpose of eating and growing quickly. The caterpillar enters its metamorphosis by making a chrysalis, a sacred chamber for transformation. Once the puptation is complete, a butterfly emerges with wings to carry it abroad to mate, breed, and live out its final life cycle in full flight, right? If we think about a larvae, it's not a very pretty looking being, right? And when we think about, the caterpillar, and their sole purpose is to just eat and eat and eat, right? They're just consuming. so much information that it becomes information overload. And then they get cocooned up, right? So same thing with you. How much shit have you learned in your lifetime or in the last 5-10 years? How much information have you been consuming? How many courses have you taken? How many retreats have you gone on? How much internet have you been binging? You know what I mean? Information. And you're just consuming it all. And you know, so, okay. We consume all this information because we're searching for something, right? We're looking for something. We want to know what our purpose is. We're looking for the meaning of life, right? So we're consuming all this information, all this outside information, right? How did this person do it? How did this person do it? Well, this person did it this way, but this person did it that way. And like, they kind of contradict each other, but you know, like, it's just so much stuff. It's like information overload. And then, you know, then you're trying to figure out, you've consumed all this information. You're trying to figure out, well, what is my next step, right? And you end up in like analysis paralysis, so to speak. And you go into this dark cocoon where you don't know left from right, right? You have no idea which way to go because you've consumed so much information and you were trying to find the answer outside of yourself. So now you're cocooned all up and you're finally able to, sometimes this will happen, you know, sometimes you will choose to do this, but most often likely something's going to happen in your life that puts a halt to everything, and you're forced to go into this cocoon, where you're forced to be present with your own thoughts, with your own demons, with your own darkness, and you start to build upon your own stepping stones with all the information that you've consumed and what is going to work right for you and what's, you know, so that when you come out of that cocoon, you know, you end up being, it's like this, right? Okay, so let's keep on keeping on. So butterflies navigate using a special sun compass. They see polarized light, allowing them to see and move freely even in overcast conditions. They use their antenna to sense wind speed and to smell food, flowers, and other butterflies. Deeply symbolic of the human soul, butterflies are often recognized as messengers sent from those who have crossed over into the spirit world. The butterfly teaches us that everything we experience in life plays a crucial role into shaping who we are meant to be. They remind us to embrace each part of our life as a period of important learning and growth, and to see that sometimes we must walk before we can fly. Right? Like, this week is such a beautiful, powerful week. This week is really about self-discovery, right? And really diving down into who it is that you really want to be, right? Who do you want to be 5 years from now? Who do you want to be 10 years from now? Really see that big picture and make steps towards it. Instead of, big picture. Look at the big picture. And enjoy the journey on the way, right? Enjoy being the larvae. Enjoy being the caterpillar just eating everything. Enjoy your time in the cocoon. And enjoy the time when you can, fly. And then enjoy the time when it comes to crossover. because it's beautiful. It really, really is. All right, that's what I have for you guys. Sorry this video went super duper extra long. I love all of you. Drop a comment, smash like. Love you all. Share this if you think that this message would resonate with somebody in your life and that they need to hear these messages. Share this video with them. Okay?